Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody. We're at Indian Motorcycle Greensboro Triad with, guess who? That's the Sensei, you guys! So Sensei, what's that bike you're standing next to? It looks really cool, looks really beautiful, and it looks like my next mistake, but what is it?
That is the new 2025 Scout 101. Got the club fairing, the 1250cc engine, the low profile radiator, all steel frame. Notice the drivetrain is still a stress member of the frame, but our custom guys are going to love this change from the aluminum. This guy is just ready to rock and roll, pal.
Upside down forks in the front.
Oh, or what we call inverted.
Inverted. And just look beautiful. I love that wheel, man.
Oh yeah, it's tight. It's
the
really
wheel
tight.
and the paint scheme. Come on, tell us about the paint scheme, man. This is so gorgeous. You know how much I love white, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we've got 3 colors going on, and you know what they say, what's better than 1 is 2, and what's better than 2 is 3. Boom. You know it.
So you got a little bit of black, a little bit of the Indian red, like my jacket, and the white. Ooh, this is pretty.
And the 4-inch ride command screen.
Yes, sir. 4-inch ride command screen. And these handlebars. These handlebars with the bar and mirrors. How many of your Scout owners come in and ask you to have those as an aftermarket or add it on as an accessory? And Indians giving it from?
Yeah, from the factory. Quite a few. This is really cool, and they can, of course, they can be inverted as well. So very versatile.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a great look, dude. I love it.
Brand new design, you guys. This is only what, 1 week old?
Yeah, the release has just been a week ago, so we're the first stop on the demo tour to have this bike, and the rides are getting ready to cut loose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so let's start off with the walk around for this bike. Look at it. LED headlamps, beautiful. You can see the golden shocks, inverted, nice. You have a little club style billet fairing, bar and mirrors. Beautiful, right? That's the new engine, the 1250cc V-twin liquid cooled, and this has the tech package. This is fully loaded. The 101 is, so that's your push button start, so keyless ignition, and adjustable suspension rear shocks as well. Now you can get rear seats for all of these. The fender on the Scouts is completely redesigned. They've made subtle changes so you can interchange parts. They don't look like it doesn't look like it's new, but it's redesigned. Look at this. They have places for buttons now, for heated grips, and beautiful 101 logo in the middle. A little nice contrast part here. I love this little center console area. And just look at that paint scheme of the tank, man. Beautiful Indian logo, different colors. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I love that little Indian logo in the middle. And this also has the ride command center. How cool is that? And the seat has this beautiful design. Indian. It says it's an Indian. And since it's keyless ignition, let's try it out. Press that button. This comes to life. Your warning lights are all on the 2 sides. And these are all touchscreen. Oh, I love that graphic. Love that graphic. This is all touchscreen. Press OK. And this is your default setting. You get your speedometer, the tachometer, fuel gauge, which gear you're on, miles, odometer, compass, and temperature. And then you can play around. You have different gauges here. You can go into bike. You can play your music. You can load up the map. You can put in directions and all that stuff in there. You also have riding modes. Adjust the brightness, turn traction control on or off. Pretty neat. Alright, let's talk about handlebar controls. On your left, you have your high beams and passing lights on the top. Cruise control settings here. This joystick is to toggle through the menu. This is to return, go back, turn signals, horn. And on your right hand side is the kill switch and starter. Let's take a look at the back. Ooh, LED lights. You have the side mount license plate, bobbed fender, single exhaust. And on the side you have the beautiful contrast logos there. Tells you it's a 1250cc Indian motorcycle 101, and the cylinder heads have the Indian eye on that. Look at that beautiful contrast cut wheel, man. Dual discs up front, Brembo brakes, beautiful. And this bike has a 29-degree rake angle. What's the rake angle, you ask? We'll draw perpendicular from the steering mount for the fork tube That's your rake angle. Shorter the rake angle, the more nimble the bike is, and larger the rake angle, the more stable it is at higher speeds, highway speeds, and such. Oh, and look at that little vent for air intake. And of course, it's got the radiator, which is all muddy from our riding. This is a pretty bike, man. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful machine. Well, Sensei, once again, thank you for letting me be part of this and letting the viewers see you and this beautiful machine.
Well, thank you for putting up with us.
But hey, do you know what time it is, by the way?
Yeah, I know what time it is. It's right o'clock, baby.
So, if you guys are new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. We are off on the new Scout, the Scout 101, going on a bit of a demo ride, you guys. Demo ride. Let's jump into the first impressions of this motorcycle. So this is the brand new Scout 101 from Indian Motorcycle with the new 1250cc liquid cooled engine, 111 horses, all that good stuff. And just look at the paint scheme, man. Look at the tag. I love it. I love it. I love the color. I really, really, really do. It's got a really low seat height. I can flat foot this bike very easily. Oh, let's take a listen to the stock exhaust. I like it. I'm such a child. So the seat is really comfy. It's a nice and comfy seat. Now, as with most of the Scouts, that's not a classic. The guy is riding a classic there. You have to reach out for the handlebars a little bit, and it's got forward foot controls. Your legs aren't bent weirdly, but you are like a C of sorts, like your body, like you're reaching out, and that's the bar hopping stance and the club racing stance, whatever. Now, keep in mind, so if you like a more upright seating position, you probably like the classic more. This is a little bit of an aggressive riding position, and that's something to keep in mind with the Scout Bobber and the 101 as well. But that engine, man, oh yeah, so smooth. Wow. And we are in standard mode, man. Standard mode. The bar and mirrors, well, yeah, let's just adjust them. The bar and mirrors are actually pretty good. You can see quite a lot out of them. Yeah. Balance, man. As for the straight balance, look, no hands, no problem. It just keeps doing its thing. And I've always said I'm a big fan of the Ride Command Center, and they put this first on the Indian Chief lineup, where they have that little 4-inch Ride Command Center display, and that makes riding a lot easy. You can get directions, you can pair your phone, you can do a lot of stuff here, and it just adds a little more technology to your bike, and it's always good. I like technology. Alright, so let's use this moment to go into rain mode. So rain mode is traditionally where the power is dialed down and your traction control, ABS, all of them would be at its highest setting, and kind of make sure that you don't do something stupid like you grab a fistful of throttle in wet conditions like it is today. And yeah, so yeah, in wet mode you really have to twist the throttle to get the bike to respond, which is what it's supposed to do. So that's not a bad thing at all. I love these Scouts. I've always been a fan, and the new lineup is no different. You also have LED everything, and this has the push button start, so keyless ignition. You don't need a key on this anymore. Like a proper key, you probably get a key fob, and that's just like the tech package that these bikes are coming with now. And for every model you have the option of getting the tech package, and you can select, like with the different Scout models, you can pick and choose what you want. If you want the TFT screen, do you want the push button, do you want this, do you want that, And also with the new Scout models, they've redesigned the rear fender and other parts of the bike, so every part on every bike is interchangeable. So if, let's say you get the Scout Classic but you want a round display, you can get that. And you want something else, you want seats and stuff like that, everything is interchangeable, and everything's gonna work, the handlebars and all of that. So that's something they've kept the customization in mind. And what I like about Indian now is that they are listening to what the customers are doing and saying and asking for, and they're putting it in that. Because I know a lot of people want the bar and mirror, so now it comes stock. People wanted the ride command center, now you have that's coming as an option. People wanted the push button start, the keyless ignition, you're gonna get that. Different paint schemes, you're getting that. Parts to be interchangeable between the different Scouts, you get that. So that's a really good job. Now, wind protection, there isn't much of a wind protection at all. There's no fairing, none of that. You have a little club style thing here, a little fairing, a little windshield here. That kind of blocks some wind, but there's not much wind protection. You get a lot of wind on your body, upper body, the legs, everywhere. And on nicer days, that's not that big of a deal. On colder days, you're gonna might not be the biggest fan of it on colder days. I don't think you would be. It's been raining and it's kind of chilly, not really, so it's not unbearable, but on warmer days you're gonna have a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna jump on the highway, so let's quickly change modes to sport. All right, so let's go ahead and do our pull test, see how this puppy pulls. Oh yeah, boy. Woo! Man, that thing is beautiful. The liquid cooled engine, man, with the new redesign and a little more power than the previous generations. Dang, this is smooth. This is smooth. All right, let's go back into standard mode. So we're on the highway, and the first thing you notice, of course, with the Scout is a lot of wind on your body on the highways, but it is staying very stable. The bike is being very, very, very stable, which is a very good thing for riding on the highways. Which brings me to answer those important questions of ours. Is this a good bike for commuting? Yeah, I think so. This is gonna be a good bike for commuting. It's small, it's light, it's what, about 500 pounds? Decent amount of power. Commuting should not be an issue. You might need a backpack unless you go for the saddlebags. If you go with the saddlebags, that's fine. Otherwise, you just need a backpack. How about touring? Is this a good bike for touring? Well, we are on the highway doing about interstate speeds like 60 in the 60s, and yeah, it feels very stable. But that's the other thing. The other side to that is you get a lot of wind on your body, not a whole lot of storage space and all of that. You could tour a couple of 100 miles on it. If you're taking back roads and state roads, you should be just fine. If you're out on the highways, I think you should be fine for a little bit, but I wouldn't suggest going cross country on this. What about beginners? Is it a good bike for beginners? Yeah, no, I don't think this is a bike for beginners. The Indian Scout 60, now that's a great bike for beginners. Not a lot of power and easy to handle and maneuver. Now this bike is easy to ride and easy to handle and maneuver, but there's the power aspect to it that might be a little difficult for someone who is brand new to motorcycling. If you've been riding for a while and you want something smaller, you should be fine. But if you're brand new to motorcycling, I try to stay away from the Scout. Look at the Scout 60. That's like an amazing bike. Oh, and here's another thing, like it has these little mounting points for the mirrors, for the different kind of mirrors. Like if you wanted the standard mirrors instead of the bar ends, if you don't like the bar ends, you want the standard mirrors, you can still do that. That's pretty cool. And I like the little touches that Indians put, like that eye over here, and the little scheme, the paint scheme, and the little touches here and there. I quite like it. And now these bikes also come with LED headlamps, tail lights, everything's LED. Pretty cool. Like, these are all standard. You don't need to upgrade or none of that. I am quite enjoying riding this bike, and I'll tell you what, like the seat on this bike, I wasn't really sold on the seat when I saw it first, but the seat is actually not bad. Is it as comfy as my Roadmaster? No, but it's not bad. It's not uncomfortable. It's a different style seating, the club style, I think is what they call it. But it's actually pretty good, huh? And personally, I like the seating position and the riding position of this bike better than the previous Scout. I don't know, maybe it's not as forward, but I like it. Now this bike, I think it costs around 17 grand, 16,999 or something. That's because you get a lot of stuff on it standard, rather than buying something like this classic Scout or the Bobber and then adding stuff to it. So now Indian has those 4 or 5 models, and you can choose which one you want and keep adding stuff to it. So with the 101, you pretty much get every feature, the keyless ignition and the ABS and the ride command center and the updated suspension, a little more power on the engine, from the engine and stuff, the different handlebars. So yeah, if you're looking to get a bike that looks really cool, has a good kick to it, you can commute on and possibly do a little bit of touring, and yeah, I think this is gonna be a great option. Man, this bike, I quite like it. But yeah, so if you want to try out one of these Scouts, the new Scouts, look up the Indian demo tour and go to the dealership that's closest to you that's doing the demo tour and check it out for yourself. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. Keep your knees in the breeze, and I will see you soon. Bro out.